Welcome back, everyone, to show number 8 of the Rob and
Noddy!
Show! So we've been practicing that for the last 2 hours, haven't we? Do you feel we've got it yet?
I have to go back into the mirror and check.
Me too. That music, what you just heard, it's the actual intro music to one of the schools in Sissyfight 2000. And hopefully in about a month we'll have the game back. It's coming back in September, isn't it?
Yeah. Not first, but in September of 2013 that was clarified, just so that people aren't, waiting with bated breath on the first going, where is it?
Yeah, I reckon it's about mid-September. Well, I'd say late September, say if something goes wrong, but they actually said they had a schedule, so... But in the meantime, since you're waiting for that website, something new's come up on it, Noddy.
Oh, yeah.
One thing we always had on Sissyfight back in the day was called the Sissyfight message boards. And now, thanks to the community, it's been resurrected once again. It's not actually officially part of the game, but it's kind of endorsed by the owners in it, so...
Yeah, very kind of them to have created that site.
Yeah, so pretty much fans of the original, including the old moderators, they've created the sissyfightboards.com, so if you look up www.sissyfightboards.com, you can check out the old community. And it's pretty vibrant. It's been up for a few days now. It's been up for a little while during beta testing, but now it's officially open, so anyone can come and join in. It's free. And best bit, you'd have to use your real name, so if you're a Facebook phobia, you've got none of those kind of links where it's like, click me, or click on Facebook and to join. It's just your own simple name and password kind of site, so it's run by fun people.
It's a lot of fun seeing some old names I haven't seen in a long time, and it's just crazy. It's like the last 6 years, it just never happens. It's like everyone's back in the mode.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's happy at the moment.
Honeymoon period. Oh, how long is that going to last?
Yeah, exactly. Honeymoon. What do you reckon before everyone starts bickering or taking snipes at each other?
I don't know. It looks like a little bit of that's already kind of going. I mean, I did sort of call someone a mosquito. But that's not...
Of all things you could call someone on the internet a mosquito.
Well, yeah, just a minor annoyance, really.
Yeah, you're getting soft in your older age, you.
I know.
And actually, the topic of the show today, it's not going to be Sissyfight, but it's something what was actually brought up on the boards. Cyberbullying.
Yeah, that's something that's been brought up since, I guess, probably before Amanda Todd, but I think the Amanda Todd incident has what's probably made it blow up and to what it is now. And the government, there's trying to be like laws passed to like prohibit what people can say online, and that's like pretty much breaching the First Amendment, which is really pissing a lot of people off. On one hand, I can see, why you should be careful about what you say, just if only not to be a jerk. But, yeah, a lot of people are not happy about that.
It's like, I remember recently, there was this case of this guy, he was on Twitter, and I think he said something like, I'm going to come and shoot you all or some shit like that. And what happened was he got reported, and this happened in America, by the way. So he got reported. Police found out where he lived and threw him in prison. It turned out he was just this 18-year-old guy and he was just talking shit. And at the moment now, they're not sure whether they should try him for terrorism. Think about it, you're just being a dick online and you're in bloody jail waiting for your trial for to see if you're guilty of terrorism, of all things. And he's
terrorism, that's stupid. Terrorism is stupid, but a threat, like...
Oh, he said, yeah, he made a joke or something like he's going to go to his local school and shoot the kiddies. And he was journeying around that time when that horrible incident happened, a few months back with the kids who got shot because of that cycle.
Yeah. Well, they're taking shit seriously now.
Yeah, it's not necessarily internet bully, because I wouldn't think that's got to do with bullying. It's more or less how you behave when you're on the internet. So it's like, are you being a dick or not? So what can you get done for? It's like a lot of people, they think that they're just anonymous online. They don't realise that if they start spewing shit, they think, right, no one knows my real name or where I live or where I'm from. But they don't realise it's just easy to track someone's IP address. Then the police will get in contact with the host. They'll tell you who you are. And then you're in a shit. So, but why the hell you'd say something like that in the first place is beyond me, because it's just, I don't know, it's just a lot of people think they can just get away with saying stupid shit like that. I know, like, you're anonymous and stuff like that, but it's like, what do you get out of, like, saying something like that? I just don't get it.
Well, I partially think that's a good idea. Is at least to be made an example of. I mean, I'm sort of think it's a. I don't know what to think, to be honest, because there are people out there who would act on it, and if this poor sod has to have a damn example made of him, then so be it.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people, they're actually saying, oh, they're going too far. This he was just like a young guy just talking shit and just being an idiot. But on the other side, it's people thinking, what if he really was going to go and do it? So that's where government jumps in, and you get asked the question, is it right for the government to intervene in subjects like this? Should they be allowed this much freedom to find out who people are? Or is that trespassing on people's rights?
Mm-hmm. Spooky shit. America.
America. Yeah. It's like on the new Sissyfight boards, which is sissyfightboards.com if you want to come and check it out. And back in the day on the original message boards, there used to be a forum called Behind the Gym. Basically, it was a place where you was allowed to call people names, be absolutely horrible, or just get into heated discussion. Since all this cyberbullying thing is going on so far, and people's getting a bit worried about, do we really want to encourage this kind of behaviour? So one of the big discussions on the thread at the moment is to whether bring back this old forum or just leave it to die, because it's not, because the world's different now, isn't it? So
yep. Well, on one side of the coin, you can't really blame, like, some people are blaming Behind the Gym for a lot of bullying when, I mean, that's one platform, but the game itself, I think you kind of have more about worrying about what, because you can't censor what someone's actually saying in the game. Yeah, you can delete posts, have a moderator can, they can ruler slap you, but ruler slap, for those who don't know, is basically a Sissyfight term for, not punishment, but disciplining, like, don't do
slap
that.
on the wrist, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's a warning, whatever. I mean, obviously, there's hall monitor where you can report people for being an ass, and that's what the community gets together to keep things damage control. But yeah, I mean, Behind the Gym, it was originally not intended to be really, it was silly. It wasn't intended to be mean and encourage being mean to each other. But it eventually sort of unfolded into that. And then, of course, well, certain people did certain things that affected the other people's real lives. And that's when it's like, not cool. Don't mess with people's real life.
Yeah, I think in the beginning, it's really intention for this board was that basically if you're playing a game, say you was playing a game in Sissyfight and someone like called, I don't know, let's say Krabby Gal, say if she came in and said, Noddy, you're a fucking tool. So you could go in behind the gym and say, Krabby Girl called me a fucking tool. I am not a fucking tool. She's the fucking tool. And then you go from there.
If Krabby Girl came in a game or anywhere and called me a fucking tool, I'd probably be laughing so hard because she's like the sweetest thing. That's a shitty example, Bob, but
yeah,
that's fun.
I'm telling you, she could literally be sitting in front of you, smiling, and you go, Noddy, you are a fucking tool. And you'd be like, yay!
No, I don't know. That would be weird. I'd either think, wait a minute, is that really her or is that a sock?
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like behind the gym, it spawned different things. For one, like I said, that was an example I think he was originally intended for. Or for another example, which was brought up in this thread I've been reading, it's like, say if you was playing a game and a gang of people kept ganging up on you, making your life hell. It was like a name and shame kind of place, like, these people are being mean to me, don't play with them, that kind of thing. But
Yeah,
over time,
that.
it's like a lot of people, they really, really, really like the flaming. And to be honest, I like reading it because most of the time it's pretty funny. It's like, because like, it's like some threads are absolutely hilarious, and certain people, they can just be hilarious just reading what they come up with, like people like Dark and Wild, Prairie Squid. It's just how they just come up with ways of flaming people. And that's funny in one sense, but in another sense, people, like, you could take it two ways. One, you could just like, would be like, throw it over your back, oh, it's just a bit of ribbon that's being a bit of a bastard. And other people seriously took it to heart, and it was made it to their mission to make their lives miserable. So it was like a never-ending thing between them all, you know. So it's like, you'd literally go into a thread thinking, oh, there's been a lot of conversation going on here. There's like 300 pages. And there's basically 2 or 3 people going, you're a dick. And they're like, no, you're a dick. You're a dick. I'm not kidding. There'll be like 300 pages of just that. And then someone would come in at the end and go, what the fuck are you two talking about? I have no idea.
That's the thing, like you said, though, it basically was a community who liked to rib each other. And I mean, a lot of the times you'd be seeing these flames going on and you'd be like, holy shit. But meanwhile, they'd be high-fiving each other behind the scenes in private messages, laughing their ass off. So you really don't know. Like, these people were usually just friends, and just, you know, it was a very creative flame that they were coming up with, and it looked serious. It was just a show, really. Really, most of it was for show. And yeah, like, people can take shit to heart, and then, I mean, obviously there are going to be people that really are genuinely disliked, and that's going to happen anywhere.
Of course, behind the gym, it wasn't totally free. Because it did have a few simple rules, as in, like, no racism, no homophobia, in general, like, no looking up people's real life information and using that as ammo. There's basically no real life shit, so. But of course, there were people who took it too far. Say if someone was being mean to them, they would actually go so as far as looking up where they worked. Even some people actually got, like, they'd go into work one day and they'd be like, the boss would be like, oh, someone called blah blah blah, and they said you're an arsehole and you should be fired. It's like, can you imagine that? You go into work and someone off the internet found out where you worked and they were talking to your boss. It even went as far as, like, people turning around and saying, like, well, someone phoned me up and said that you're a paedophile. Why the fuck would you do that to somebody? Yeah, there's one online hatred and people you dislike, but going as far to fuck up the real life, that's just fucking twisted.
It is. Can we, I just say something?
Yeah.
I think that maybe as a side note, that was a little too far for something to be mentioned, a little too personal and real. I liked what you said when someone called you up and said this guy's an asshole, that the point was made. But to mention the pedophile thing again, if anyone's listening, I don't think that should be brought up at all.
No, I'm not naming names or anything like that, but it has happened to people. And that's when I think it totally crosses the line.
That happened to one person.
Yeah, we'll move on anyways.
Right.
What other topics did we want to talk about? What was it? Oh, other things what were brought up about behind the gym. It's like people go like, oh, we want it like it used to be. And other people saying we don't want it at all. So it's like, to be honest, I'm kind of like in the middle. It's like, I like some of the fucking ribbing and shit like that, but I don't like it when it gets too fucking real. You know, especially when it starts affecting people's real lives.
Yeah, no, it's wrong.
So moving on, talking about online bullying on social sites. there's been a lot of news recently. Like you mentioned it before, one of them was Amanda Todd, and more recently it was on this English girl from England, 14-year-old Hannah Smith, who committed suicide from online bullying.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had something in my bloody throat. So I want, like, moving the topic along, I just want to know, what would you how would you class online bullying? Because it's a lot of things just like thrown into one. It's like, would this be bullying? Would that be bullying? You know, it's obviously it's like the Amanda Todd, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah, that's like really loaded because it depends. I think like bullying, and I usually think about bullying being like youth happening to youth, but it does happen to adults. But right now I'm gonna focus on the youth. The problem with the internet and anonymity is if you find like a lot of people don't see me, like you don't know the ages of people. Even if you look at pictures of them, you don't know their age. But you have like I don't know, a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old, and their peers are basically telling them,
Well, you're ugly, you're fat, you're and so on.
see,
That's the thing, though.
that's
It's like that's the first thing what they go for. They can see and what they've got.
yeah, that happens in school. See,
Oh yeah, it's like bullying. It's not anything new, is it? It's been
no,
around for a long time, probably since the dawn of man. But now, since everyone's on social networks, it's become more publicised because you can't fucking miss it. Because like the internet, today is a hell of a lot different than it was for me like 10 years ago. So it seems like people. Well, I won't say people necessarily younger and younger, but I'm saying there's more people these days. So it's like everyone's got pretty much access to the internet, whether it be on the computer, phone, console. It's just there's so many ways for to get on there. And the problem is like back in the day, if you went on a website and you was being a dick or whatever, people would literally jump on you and fucking teach you, as they say, internet etiquette, you know. Which was pretty much if you're going to talk in caps, we're going to give you shit. If you come in here, being homophobic or sexist or someone, they're going to jump over you and give you shit. And for a lot of people, yeah, it did reform me because I'll be honest, when I first got on the internet, I was one of them. I was talking in caps. I was talking shit. I wasn't being homophobic or sexist or anything like that, but I was just being a twat. But after a while, they do start giving you shit for it. It's just like other things like, I'll be honest, my punctuation and spelling, it was pretty terrible back then. And that's one of the things when I got a lot of shit for it, but in a way, it actually motivated me to learn how to bloody spell, of all things. But I had to, because I wanted to be taken seriously, and that was the thing, so that was a bit of a motivator.
That's the difference between you and a lot of people. They just don't care. It's like, so what? It's the internet. Well, yeah. Hopefully you're not cringing at what you wrote like 10 years from now. A lot of us do.
I
Cringe
do.
at our own stuff. Like, really? Seriously? I do. At your stuff. No, I'm kidding. At my stuff, I think it's just, yeah.
It's like
there
playing like
forever.
devil's advocate. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying that it's there forever for everyone to see. People can forget the stupid stuff you said in high school, but I can't really forget something that's forever there on the internet, on Facebook or wherever, archives. So
it's like what I want to get into. It's like what is the degree of like internet bullying? Because like to me, it's like the idea of like an internet bully is basically like you could say sometimes people think, oh, it's their own fault. For instance, I'd think if it's someone's fault that they come into like a forum and they're just being a dick. But there's also different situations like that Amanda Todd. It's like what happened with her, if anyone doesn't know. Basically, she was on a webcam social site when she was like 12 or 13. And of course, you get creepy people and then they get the same thing like, get your boobs out. And being young, naive, dumb girl she was, she flashed her tits for a second, of course. Someone got a screen capture. And then, of course, she became basically an internet meme. So that pretty much followed her for her entire life. It's just like, how the hell does, for one, how does that many people get away with using her as a meme with a picture of a tits out of a 13-year-old? That's illegal, you know.
Yeah.
It's like she changed schools because it started, well, obviously affecting her real life. And people was like calling her a slaughter whore and shit like that. She was fucking 13.
Yep.
Not the brightest person of all trades, but so it's just like a real fucked up story in general. And that was all what she did was flash her boobs on some stupid site. It's like what happened. It's like the person who did it at fault. I really hope they feel fucking bad now.
See, though, a lot of that, though, as well, wasn't just on the internet. Her life followed her to the internet, or from the internet, and she got the crap kicked out of her, and some people were recording her getting the crap kicked out of her, and no one was doing a damn thing. And this was happening to her on, like, her outer side of school. So a lot of it was actually her own peers, and, you know, you'd think that when you're online, and from what I recall, anybody can, if anyone knows more than I do, they can feel free to write in comments. But as far as I understand, she had, like, on Facebook, I guess it was Facebook, people were bugging her and prodding her and saying, "Oh, you're this, that." Why didn't she, you know, to close up her, like, privacy, to not see these people? There's a block button. We have block buttons for a reason. I don't believe that people should be told, "Oh, just walk away." They shouldn't. The victims shouldn't be the ones walking away. It should be the bloody bullies that have to walk away. This is their world now. Like, our generation of kids, their generation this is their world. It's not the same as for us. It's like we know what it was like to come home, just chill out, do your homework, hang out with your friends, watch TV, and not have to worry about some jerk off from, the playground coming in and telling you off. Whereas that's what's happening here. You can't escape it unless you use the damn block and privacy settings. It's like, I don't know if she knew how to do that or not, or she even just didn't want to do it because she was a sucker for punishment. I don't know. And that's the problem. I think a lot of people are
suckers. That's the thing, though, what I don't understand. It's like, obviously, like a site like Facebook, for some reason they pretty much force you to use your real name.
Yep.
And they also ask you for stuff like your address, your phone number, and why people give out that information, I have no idea. It's like, I'll admit it, yeah, I'm on Facebook, I use my real name. But at times, why would you put in like your phone number, where you live? It's like, I'm from Manchester, so that's what I put. I'm from Manchester. I'm not going to say which town I'm from, or my phone number and shit like that. I don't know why people do that. Another thing about that Amanda Todd thing is, it's like, if she was getting that much abuse on Facebook, why don't she just simply just like, delete her account? It's like, for an example, it's like she was still basically like giving these trolls ammo. It's like she'd go on there and goes, I think she even like had suicide like threats on there, saying like, I tried to commit suicide last night. I drank some bleach, and that became a new meme. So basically, she fed him new ammo, and it carried on and on and on and on until, well, she finally succeeded in what she wanted to do. But it's like, why? Like, if you know that you're gonna get shit with everything what you say, where it's gonna be captured or they're gonna make fun of you, why would you keep that account around? Especially like when it's not only affected your life but your entire family's. It's like I said, her bloody family had to move schools a couple of times or move to different states to try and start afresh. But she was still using her own persona on online, and why the hell her parents let her do this, I have no idea. If I had a daughter and she was getting that much shit, especially if she had nude pictures on the internet, she had people giving her death threats, calling her every name, I would not let her on the internet at all,
Yeah, I think that she probably had a computer in her own bedroom, and I think that's a big mistake a lot of parents give. And like, kids are going to want that though, because that's, but so and so up the street has a computer in their own room. Well, so what? You don't.
It's like, at least if you're going to go on the internet or something like Facebook, you just use a fucking fake name,
Yeah.
You don't associate yourself with anything what you've done before, so you can't be tracked. Or you find a different website where you can have a different name or whatever, you know.
But Facebook is forcing people to do that, like you said. And the thing you mentioned about phone numbers is I think, okay, some people do plug it in, like, oh, put my phone number in here and don't think about it. But a lot of the time, I think what happened to me is because now of these smartphones, if you want to use Facebook on your smartphone and the app in there, then automatically you sign up with your phone, boom, your phone number is going to show in your profile. And you have to delete that yourself, or just, not necessarily delete it, because that can, at least at one point, I think if you deleted it, then you might not have the proper access through your phone, but at least make it private.
It's like moving on to another story, Hannah Smith. It's a similar type of story. Apart from she was on a site called ask.fm. I'm not too familiar with this site, so I don't know whether it's like a Reddit or 4chan, but basically what happened with this, there's like, she posted a picture of herself. It weren't nude or anything, it was just like a normal picture, like, teenage girl taking a picture of herself. And of course people came out with comments, you're fat, you're ugly, you're a bitch. And of course, I guess she became a target that way, but I don't know. It's like when we read these stories, I'm reading this one off bbc.co.uk. You don't know the full story. It's like, I'm not after blaming the victim or anything like that, but there's got to be a certain amount where you behaved for to get this kind of reaction from people.
No, see, in her case, unlike Amanda Todd, these people that were people she didn't know, not people like she was very popular. She was known as being pretty in school, all that stuff. And then these, anonymous dickheads on the internet are what got to her, which I guess I'm not a kid that I never grew up with the internet to feel anything from some jerk idiot that on the internet that just spewing vitriol like that. I don't understand it. I don't understand killing yourself over what some people think of you anyway, but then again, children are very sensitive at a very sensitive time, and even then,
especially when you're 13 and 14, but it's like, once again, it's like, why are the parents not keeping an eye on them? That's what I don't understand.
Well, the thing, though, is like, again, when I was talking about teenagers or young people, it doesn't stop there. People are assholes when they're older, and it's surprising sometimes when I see something on Facebook written by somebody. I'm like, how the hell old is this person? And I look in there, and they're in their 30s or 40s. I'm like, are you seriously writing this? Like, no, it's like they've never grown up. It's like they're still a schoolyard bully. What are you doing? Like, grow up.
So to give more information on the story, I'm just going to play this quick 2-minute clip. So, if anyone's not heard it, this is it. Of course, you can find it on bbc.co.uk or BBC News. Just look up Hannah Smith Deaf Ask FM, and you should be able to find the article quick enough, but this is the clip.
Hannah Smith, a loving daughter and sister, driven to take her own life, her family say, by cyberbullies. Flowers and messages have been left at Hannah's home. Her body was found by her 16-year-old sister. Today, the teenager and her father supported each other. Hannah's friends are also devastated by her death.
She was lovely, she was chatty, she was vibrant, she was fun. You could always have a laugh with her. She was just one of those people that if you were ever sad, she'd put a smile on your face.
You wouldn't expect her to be bullied because she was so popular in school. She was such a pretty girl.
But she was taunted about her appearance by people she didn't even know on the social networking site ask.fm, where members can remain anonymous. Tonight it described Hannah's death as a true tragedy. It said it will cooperate with any investigation and actively encourages users and parents to report bullying. Sharon Pugsley Hill's niece, Kira, took her life last year. She'd used the same website and had also been targeted by online bullies.
The loss of a child in these circumstances is unbearable. And each time you hear about the loss of another child, it stabs you in the heart as if it's happened again to you.
Campaigners say people must know about the risks.
Making people aware that when they open that door to anonymity, anything can happen. It is potentially a dangerous environment.
Hannah had been a popular pupil at Lutterworth High School. Today, the head teacher described how everyone was shattered by what's happened. Hannah was bright, bubbly and thoughtful. She had everything to live for. The 14-year-old's family are campaigning for tighter controls of social networking sites and say her death must not be in vain. Sian Lloyd, BBC News, Lutterworth.
And there you go. It's like one part of what particularly did interest me now is it's like people being anonymous, and of course they thinking, oh, we can say anything what we want, get away with anything. But it's like, should there be a right of the government to actually step in and say, like, like, look up this anonymous person who's spewing it? Because, like, in real life, if you're giving someone death threats or just like complete verbal abuse, it's illegal. Should it apply to the internet?
Well, probably.
I think it should do in certain instances. It's like, I think by all means, if you want to be anonymous, you should be. But if you start crossing that line of giving people death threats, stalking them, that's when you should be be reported or have your details moved on to the authorities. I don't mean like, someone called me a dickhead, let's give it to the fucking police. I mean, like, if you're stalking someone and you're making their life hell, or you're literally, I don't know, getting their actual real life info and phoning them and bloody, and stuff like that. It's just a tricky situation, really, isn't it?
Well, I mean, this could also cross over into sexual harassment. And I mean, I know that there's a lot of guys online who think, oh, I can, call the girl out. And they just say these terrible things to women. And I mean, you don't know who you're talking to. That any woman, it can be very sensitive. You don't know what they've been through, if they've been raped for all they know, and they're saying something that's really, really, really hurtful. I mean, I've had some weird stuff said to me, and I'm just like disgusted by it. And I'm like, well, why would you say something like that to me? I don't know. It's something like that. If someone was to say something like that to me in person while I'm, walking down the street or something like that, I would definitely go to the closest authority and report them, because that's threatening to my personal safety. And I guess that's a trigger in a way. But, I mean, someone saying it anonymously who's like miles and miles away, doesn't know where I live, and it's just on some page they're harassing. Obviously, they're not going to, you can't really do a lot about that. But I do have my privacy settings hiked up pretty tightly, because I don't want anyone. I realized at one point, oh my God, people can see all these things. I gotta really tighten them up. So yeah, you gotta keep privacy high if you give a damn about your safety, or because just look into your account settings, profile, privacy settings. If there's anything there that you think should be private, people that you don't know looking at it, they're gonna look. People will look. If you're posting on other forums or other walls, other pages, someone's gonna see it, and maybe someone you don't want.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned before. It's like, do you really need to put your address and phone number, even postcode on Facebook? Do you really need to put that amount of information? It's like, I hear people complaining, I don't like it when people look at me information. And when you say to them, why the fuck did you put it on there in the first place?
Yeah.
If you want to change your number with someone, do it through a private message and delete that damn thing, or do it in fucking person. But going back to what you were saying about people being inappropriate to you, or women in general, it's like, for instance, like a guy, say if he fucking sent a picture of his dick to a girl, that's one thing. But if he's going to get his dick out to you in public, he'd be arrested. So why shouldn't the guy online get in trouble for sending you a picture of his dick?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, again, going back to the stalking thing and privacy settings, I'm not sure how there was an app that was created, and that means that possibly there are people still trying to create this app now that it got shut down, but it's called Girls Around Me, I think it was called. And basically what it would do is take Facebook posts that girls in the area would be checking in, and it would say, oh, this girl here checked in over here just a block away, over here 10 blocks away, and they can find you. So these
Isn't
apps,
that on Facebook though?
just
Because
as
I
fast
remember
as
a
it's
while back,
made,
every time you posted anything on your phone, it'd show a fucking little map of exactly where you were.
yeah, it does. And private messages, just so people know, if you're exchanging private messages through your phone, there's a little icon there. I think it's a little arrow type drop, and if you click on it, it'll tell the person where you are while you're posting it. If you're just having a back and forth between you and your best friend, whatever, who cares? But anyone you're talking to, someone privately message you, and maybe you don't really know them, and maybe they've been bugging you a little bit, just go there and click on that and turn it off, because they can see where you are, and if you're at work and you're messaging work, they're here now. It really is very accurate. I mean, I even was just trying to demonstrate to a friend, I knew exactly where they were, and I was saying, oh, so you're here now. Oh, so you're over there now. They're like, holy crap. Turn it off.
It's like it's happened to you a few times. I think you thought you'd turn it off. And I'm like, hey, I know where you are. And he's like, what, really? Where am I? And then, of course, I said where he was. And he was totally shocked because you actually thought you turned it off.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, with when people are putting in their iPads, smartphones, or whatever, you just don't realise on these sites there's a lot of like different options what get enabled as soon as you do that, and you just don't realise it. It's like clicking on someone's profile just because they've connected their phone to Facebook. They don't realise that their private number's on display for everyone, you know.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to cover?
I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but yeah, the whole suicide thing. Suicide is never something that we like to hear, but I mean, it's not like teen suicide is anything new. I mean, you look back in the 80s, there was a big case of teenage suicide, and that's why the Heathers movie was created. But that was a big deal then. It was happening back then, and it's a shock to everyone now, because now there's the internet platform to that people are doing that, and it's just people are sensitive. The kids are not. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I mean, adults. We believe as adults that we should be able to take things, but there's actually a lot of adults that can't, and there's always going to be a dick in every crowd. There's always going to be somebody who has to be a shit to somebody else because their life's pretty friggin' miserable. So, I mean, yeah, people we need to sort of calm down and just, I don't know. People are trying to do what they can to control things, but now freedom of speech is being one of the First Amendment. Oh my God, I'm torn on both ends. I can't really make a decision here or there. I mean, I'm pretty much fair I don't like bullies. I just don't. I don't like people who are dicks.
Of course, we love, what was it, just ribbing. You know, I just like playful things, nothing like too serious, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, with that still, like, where does it end? Because it could start with, not saying the most extreme stuff. Okay. And then it moves on, like, where does it end? Because once the ball starts rolling, it's like you start tightening the reins a little bit more and more and more. And who's to know, when you see, like, some people fighting, a lot of people won't realize those two are friends and just having a good old jolly time. But, so, yeah, restricting people are saying when you don't really know the backstory could be dangerous. But
it's like one thing what I want to say before we end this show. It's like I've been a part of quite a few different internet communities, and one thing what I've always noticed is like once you especially if you get into like a small close knit community, and of course you're accepted into them. I've noticed like a lot of people do totally let the guard down. It's like they'll just start talking about things about the private life, and all this is in public for like everyone to see. And then when they actually get in an argument with someone, they're actually so shocked when the person turns around and throws that info right back at them. It's like, seriously, if you're worried about any information about you getting out on the internet, the only reason why they're using it against you is because you put it out there. Of course, you can be more careful and you just choose who you share this information with. But at the end of the day, you just got to be careful what you say because you never know never truly know who someone is on the internet. And there's always a possibility whatever you say can be used against you. So next time you're going to talk about something personal, whether it be in a forum or on a bloody social webcam site, just be careful with what the hell you put out there because once it's on the internet, you can't get it back. And that includes say some of these young girls or whatever, taking photos of themselves nude. It's like there's internet sites out there like Post Your Ex-Girlfriend, or there's even sites where it's, you could put in girls in certain city, and it'll just be page after page of girls who's taking nude pictures of themselves. And this is not necessarily stuff what they posted online, but they've put into email accounts or photo storage accounts. They think they're all going to put a few pictures in there. For myself, because I'm curious, I like taking pictures of myself, but I'm not sharing it with the public. Wrong, because these accounts, seeing someone likes the look of a girl, they'll get obsessed. They'll start looking her up, searching her on the internet, and as soon as they find these especially photo sites, even though it might be private to the girl, they probably find ways to hack it, to get into those albums and see shit.
Yeah. And
once that's done, it's out there. For an example, it's now and again you would always see adverts want to chat to this girl, she's ready and waiting for you. I remember once there was this girl, she was only about 14 or 15, but she was very mature looking. So of course, I think this was a girl who used one of those private photo load sites, I can't remember the names of them, but you get the idea, your photo sharing sites. But it's what she did, she just took a couple of shots of herself in a swimwear and underwear and stuff like that. And it was just it weren't anything what was public, yet someone broke into that account, took other pictures and posted them everywhere. So now and again, you'd see these adverts in fucking, see them as adverts, click on Facebook for sex, click on Reddit for sex and shit like that. And it's a fucking 14-year-old girl,
Yeah.
She didn't give permission to that. It's there's even articles about it. It's how she became an unwilling sex symbol. So pretty much, even if you don't want your shit out there, just don't fucking put it on the internet. Even if you think it's private, there's probably a good chance that someone can get in there and fucking share it. So.
Are you talking about Photobucket?
Yeah, Photobucket's another one, or image share and shit like that. Pretty much anything what you go on, it's easy to someone will get in there easy enough.
There was an article about Photobucket and taking a picture with your phone, and I guess it depends on what apps you use, but taking a picture with your phone and then having it on Photobucket, people can actually look at that photo, click on it, and in a matter of seconds find out where your location was when that was taken, where they can find out where the parents were, where they worked, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, there's more information on that I saw a news article about. I'm not going to go further into it. It just reminded me of what you said, Photobucket. Check your privacy settings.
And even when you do check them, don't put fucking nude photos in there. Moral of the story.
Yeah.
You'd never know when you get yourself in trouble. Have we got anything left, baby? I almost said something.
I think we're good.
Yeah. So I think that ended now at a nice 45 minutes. Actually, if you want to leave us comments, please do so on the YouTube page. For one, this has been a new format for us. We normally do video podcasts, but we're thinking since some of these can go quite long, some people just want to hear it in the background, so plus we can get them out quicker this way. So leave your comments and let us know what you think. If there's anything what we're saying here what you don't agree with, let us know. And of course, bye-bye.
Bye.